So I wasn't sure if I wanted to come on the stage. And when you started with the story about the butterflies and the blue wall, I wanted to first share that, and then I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I listened to your work for many years. I heard this story about the blue wall and the feather, and many times, and it never did anything for me. And one day this morning, this year, and it was early in the morning. I woke up too early, and I listened to something, and this came on suddenly on YouTube, And I was like, I think I was a little bit angry suddenly. I was like, this never happened to me. Like, I want this. That butterflies are bumping into me, And sure enough, so at work I have had a little gap, and I took a walk, and suddenly there were all these butterflies, and they were bumping into me. And that happened for me for a week, probably, at least. I mean, they were everywhere. So after work, there's a place where I go to do my meditation, and suddenly everywhere butterflies, and then they bump into me in the shopping mall. And so, but there was this moment of like indifference to anger to desire, like, I want this, and suddenly it happened.
So how would you describe what changed within you? In other words, you decided it.
Desire.
You just decided, so that's that determined. So what you're saying, and we want to say it too, we want it to be that way. A decision can be unequivocal. I have decided this. Mm-hmm. But if you don't trust yourself, or if you don't believe that it's working for you, if you believe Esther can have the stupid blue glass butterfly story, then it doesn't work for you. So what do you think was different? Why do you think the decision was clearer?
It was like
purer?
Suddenly like a laser beam. It was before, when I listened to it, it comes up on YouTube, and it's like...
You know what it was? It's that your inner being knows what you want, mm-hmm. and is offering the vibration of attraction to you at all times. And you were just at that point in time where the resistance was low. You know the expression humans have it, they say it negatively. It's like, I'm afraid that I'll show up at the dock and my ship will have come and gone already, mm-hmm. and I will miss my ship. To which we've been saying, there's another ship and another ship and another ship and another ship and another ship. And so that's what we mean about the path of least resistance. The butterflies don't show up. That sliding scale that we were talking about, when desire is strong and resistance is less, that's when those timing things happen. And each of you has to show yourself on the variety of subjects that are important to you, how you're doing. And there are some people who believe in physical well-being and don't doubt it and have it easily. There are some people that want physical well-being but doubt it, and they struggle all the time. There are some people that want abundance, maybe were even born into abundance, so they never had any reason to challenge it. So money just flows easily to them because their desire and their expectation. A belief is a thought you continue to think. Mm-hmm. Expectation is a desire with a belief that matches it. That's what we mean when we say Esther's experience wasn't very helpful to you. But when the butterflies came around you and you were able to connect those dots, you knew that you had made a strong decision about it. And you knew for sure that your timing, your rendezvousing with those butterflies was because of that. And once you start having experiences like that, then you're off and running. Then you know that you just have to point and decide and just not be in the way of it. Just not be in the way of it. How do you know when you're in the way of it? You're mad, you're ornery, you feel doubt, you're blaming, you feel guilty. Every time you feel negative emotion, you're in the way of what you're asking for. And that's what makes you not trust, because you think, why are they getting the things that they want and why am I not? Well, it's the mix of vibrations that they've got going on, and you can't tell what's going on with others, but you sure can tell what's going on with you.
Can I make this a little game, like that I try different responses? So here's a situation that, for example, is completely surprising to me. So, for example, maybe I can say this. My lawyer called me and said, I called somebody's investment bank and liquidated their retirement account. I said, where does this come from, right? Out of a blue sky. Okay, I didn't do that. But so how did I attract that? And so I was playing with different responses.
Well, just start here. Sometimes people say, Abraham, I'm worried that I have unconscious thoughts that might be negatively affecting me. And we say, that won't happen because unconscious thoughts aren't active in your bag and you're not feeling emotion around them. So if you're not feeling any emotion, then it's not important enough to even pay any attention to. So that's for starters. So then when you are addressing some subject, when you're having a thought and you're having an emotion, positive or negative, good feeling or not, know that your point of attraction is being affected right then and there. And if it's a negative feeling, then it doesn't mean that bad things are going to happen. It means that you're pinching off the good things that are on the other end of the stick, though. And if you keep it up, you get what you think about whether you want it or not. And so if you've got negative emotion and you're not doing anything about it, you're not deciding, oh, I could choose better feeling existing thoughts around that subject. You're not doing that. If you just let that negative emotion stay there, those vibrations in your bag will attract others like it. When we started talking about this bag of marbles, a thought came to Esther that when she and her sisters were kids, her little sister had this discussion with her out of the blue the other day. Becky said, remember when we used to deliberately break the thermometer so that we could play with the mercury inside of it? And Esther had been having that thought too. That's a law of attraction thing that was active in Esther's vibration, and her little sister just started talking about something so random. Don't you find that interesting? But you know how the mercury, you could break it apart and then you could scooch it together and you could end up with one big blob. It was before they knew it was poison and killing them. They only broke 3 thermometers before their mother got wise to them and stopped it. But so that's the way you could envision the marbles in your bag. When you think a thought for as little as 17 seconds, slightly less than that now, but not worth nitpicking over, and you don't contradict the thought, wanted or unwanted. It's not something that feels negative that you try to make positive, or not something that's positive. It's just a thought, a vibration, and you hold it for 17 seconds, another equivalent thought will join it. So picture that marble joining another marble, and like the mercury getting a little bigger. Now it's more attractive in nature. Another 17 seconds, the law of attraction will deliver another thought that matches it. Bloop. Another 17 seconds. Bloop. When you cross the 68-second mark, you got action. You got butterflies in the park. It doesn't take much for the law of attraction to show you a thought trend. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we'd play with this. Esther and her friends one day, after we were talking about this, they made a list of 20 things. There were 4 of them in the car. They said, let's make a list of things that we'd like to see today, and then let's just roam around and see if we can attract them. So Esther said purple chairs, because she remembered a place or the Sheraton Harbor Island in San Diego where she and Jerry used to go, and it overlooked the marina, and they would just go sit in the purple chairs and they would have a drink and just bask in the perfection of their life. So Esther wanted to see some purple chairs. Somebody else wanted to see a Cadillac STRV or whatever it was. And Esther wanted to see some butterflies, and they made a list of 20 things. And then they got in the car and they roamed the city. And their determination, they decided, we'll just go where we feel like going. We're not trying to make this happen. We're not trying to make this happen. We're not even very determined about it. We're just lightly pointing at these things, believing that the law of attraction has heard us, likes to satisfy our intentions, and all 20 things. It was so much fun. Turning a corner and there's that dog, and turning a corner and there's that Volkswagen van with the surfboard on top of it. Not any van, the old van, the Volkswagen van, the quintessential surfer van. Somebody wanted to see one of those, there it was. In other words, didn't take long, 8 hours. They really wanted to see these things.
Can I ask you another question?
Yes.
So I saw you last time 4 years ago in New York, actually in Connecticut. And you were talking about energy, the future of energy on the planet, and you said we don't really understand electricity. So
humans don't.
So as a physicist, I'm a nuclear physicist, and
so maybe you do.
I'm deeply intrigued.
You don't.
So do you have anything I can work with?
You know how to respond to it. So we're going to give you some fun stuff here.
Okay, please.
This thought vibration that we're talking about is as significant of an energy as any kind of energy that you can define. Your experience and your vocabulary would allow you to define many more. In other words, Esther uses the word vibration and energy and frequency interchangeably, and that's really not right, is it? Mm-hmm. It sort of kind of is, but there are reasons that you would use one word over another. But she's using this general way of describing it. So what we want to say to you is that it is the law of attraction that is responding to all of this vibration, no matter what kind of energy that it is. Everything in physics, everything in biology, everything in astronomy, everything in geography, everything is because the law of attraction is gathering the vibrations that are likened to themselves. And so that really is what the expansion of the universe is about. The electricians or the scientists or the mathematicians or whoever it is that is deciphering and explaining and describing electricity, they know some stuff, but they aren't looking at the big picture, that it is the law of attraction that is the heart of all of it. Those frequencies that match each other that are causing it to become more and more and more, to the point that the most effective thing that humans have done with electricity is figure out how to put some resistors on it to slow it down so that they can utilize it properly in the apparatuses that they're wanting to light up with it. Yes?
Exactly. I wanted to ask you about resistors. Yes.
Yeah.
Should we do away with them?
Yeah. So, enough?
Enough. Thank you.
Really good. Really good.